From the moment we are born, we humans crave connection. We are wired for it. This inherent need to form bonds with others is not just about feeling good, it's about survival. This drive towards connection is what we call attachment. It shapes our earliest relationships and continues to influence our interactions throughout our lives, especially our romantic relationships. Attachment theory, pioneered by John Bowlby, explains how these early bonds with our caregivers shape our emotional development. Bowlby believed that our early experiences with caregivers create an internal working model of relationships. This model becomes a blueprint for how we approach intimacy, trust, and emotional regulation in our adult relationships. These early patterns of attachment are not set in stone. While our past experiences lay the foundation, we have the power to understand our attachment style and create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This journey begins with recognizing the different attachment styles and how they manifest in our lives. Attachment theory identifies 4 main attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant. Each style reflects different ways of perceiving and responding to needs in relationships. Secure attachment is characterized by a sense of safety and security. Anxious attachment is marked by a fear of rejection and abandonment. Avoidant attachment involves maintaining emotional distance. Fearful avoidant combines aspects of both anxious and avoidant styles. Understanding these styles helps develop healthier relationship dynamics.
Anxious attachment is often characterized by a deep yearning for love and connection, coupled with a persistent fear of rejection and abandonment. Individuals with this attachment style are deeply invested in their relationships and highly attuned to their partner's emotions and behaviors. This sensitivity, however, can sometimes manifest as insecurity and anxiety. They may overanalyze their partner's actions, searching for hidden meanings and signs of withdrawal. This can lead to a cycle of seeking reassurance, feeling temporarily soothed, and then quickly returning to a state of anxiety and uncertainty. The experience of anxious attachment is often described as an emotional roller coaster, with highs of intense love and lows of crippling fear. This emotional intensity can be both exhilarating and exhausting for both partners involved.
Anxious attachment is not a sign of weakness or neediness. It is a natural response to inconsistent or unreliable caregiving in early childhood. When a child's needs for safety, comfort, and emotional responsiveness are not consistently met, they learn to associate love with uncertainty and anxiety. This early conditioning shapes the developing brain, wiring it to anticipate and react to potential threats to connection. As adults, individuals with anxious attachment carry these patterns into their relationships. They may be more sensitive to cues of rejection and more likely to perceive threats to their relationship's security, even when none exist. Understanding the origins of anxious attachment helps us approach it with compassion, both for ourselves and for our partners. It reminds us that these behaviors are not about being too needy, but about seeking the security and connection that were lacking in our early experiences.
Anxious attachment can significantly impact the dynamics of romantic relationships. The constant fear of rejection and abandonment can lead to behaviors that, well, inadvertently push partners away, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Individuals with anxious attachment may engage in excessive reassurance seeking, constantly questioning their partner's love and commitment. They may become overly dependent on their partners for validation and security, neglecting their own needs and independence.
This need for constant reassurance can be overwhelming for partners, especially those with avoidant tendencies. It can lead to communication breakdowns, resentment, and a cycle of conflict and reconciliation.
However, it's important to remember that both partners contribute to the relationship dynamic. Understanding how anxious attachment manifests in the relationship is the first step towards creating healthier patterns of interaction.
Recognizing the signs of anxious attachment is the first step towards healthier relationships. Common indicators include fear of abandonment, seeking reassurance, and overanalyzing. Jealousy and people-pleasing are also signs. Emotional reactivity is another key indicator. With self-awareness, you can manage these patterns and create secure relationships.
While our attachment style is often established in childhood, it's not set in stone. With effort and the right tools, it is possible to move from anxious attachment towards a more secure and fulfilling way of relating to others. This journey begins with self-compassion. Acknowledge that your anxious tendencies stem from a place of longing for love and connection, not from weakness or neediness. Recognize that your past experiences have shaped your attachment style, but don't define your worthiness of love. The next step is to cultivate self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in relationships. Notice when you're engaging in patterns of reassurance seeking, overanalyzing, or people-pleasing. This awareness is crucial for interrupting automatic reactions and choosing healthier responses. Remember, change takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. With each step you take towards secure attachment, you move closer to experiencing the love and connection you deserve.
Building secure attachment takes conscious effort and the willingness to challenge old patterns. Here are some practical strategies for managing and overcoming anxious attachment. Communication. Learn to communicate your needs and feelings assertively, but respectfully. Avoid blaming or accusing language that can trigger defensiveness in your partner. Self-soothing. Develop coping mechanisms to manage anxiety and insecurity without relying on your partner for constant reassurance. This could include mindfulness practices, journaling, or engaging in hobbies that bring you joy. Boundary setting. Establish healthy boundaries in your relationships to protect your emotional well-being. Learn to say no when necessary and prioritize your needs without feeling guilty. Building self-esteem. Focus on strengthening your sense of self-worth outside of your romantic relationships. Engage in activities that boost your confidence and remind you of your value as an individual.
Remember, overcoming anxious attachment is not about becoming a different person, but about embracing your authentic self within the context of secure and loving relationships. It's about learning to trust yourself, your partner, and the strength of the bond you share. The journey towards secure attachment may have its challenges, but the rewards are immeasurable. By understanding your attachment style and actively working towards healthier patterns, you open yourself up to a world of fulfilling and meaningful connections. Embrace the journey and know that you are capable of experiencing the love and security you deserve. If you find yourself struggling to manage your anxious attachment on your own, seeking professional help from a therapist can provide invaluable support and guidance. Therapy offers a safe and non-judgmental space to explore your attachment patterns, develop coping mechanisms, and build healthier relationship skills.